Update 36.1 releases today on Wednesday, July 12th, and as always in this video, we're going to go through all the new changes. First note is about game performance, and apparently the treasure Bugan quest bestowal would cause client hitches. This has now been fixed, and there should no longer be large client hitches while this quest is bestowed to you as a player. Couple of notes on items. The Brawler Ost Dunhoth armor set is now correctly named and now equips in the correct slots. Many early quest weapons are now correctly categorized and searchable in the wardrobe, particularly hammers, axes, daggers, and clubs. Probably the biggest thing about this small update is the loot boxes, and loot boxes are getting new items. As we can see from the notes, there is quite a few new items being added to the loot box pool, and we can see at the end of the note that some of these items are also available with Filbert Fig for Figments of Splendor. So I believe that Filbert Fig will arrive with this update whenever this patch is done. Filbert Fig should be there as a rotational border for Figments. If we take a look at the public event schedule, we can see that there's an approximate dating Filbert Fig arrives, which is literally today. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that Filbert Fig will arrive with today's patch, and you should be able to barter for items with your Figments of Splendor. When it comes to all these new items, there's actually an article on Lotro.com about loot boxes. As we can see from the article, Update 36.1 brings new items to loot boxes. Horse Archer's cosmetic items, steed, and war steed appearances. So this apparently is the Horse Archer's war steed, and I think it's pretty safe to assume that the items that this character is wearing will be the Horse Archer's cosmetics that you can acquire. So this is probably the Horse Archer's cosmetic items for your character. This is the war steed. And if we take a look in game, this is apparently the Horse Archer steed that you can get. If we read further down in the article, the Spotted Jerboa, Copper Netherhound, and Buff Donkey new cosmetic pets being added to loot boxes. We can see a cute little image of the Spotted Jerboa. These pets can also be found in the pets collection. We have the Spotted Jerboa looking like this. This is the Copper Netherhound. And finally, we have the Buff Donkey. And if we continue down in the article, there's also new and classic housing items added to loot boxes. We have the Potted Palm, as you can see on the left here, the Potted Palm. There's a Jerboa house for your pet, looks really cute, little small house for your little Jerboa. As well as a Fox and Fiddle Inn signpost, a vase of white clover, and a vase of coxcomb. So a few housing items added to loot boxes as well. And we can see at the bottom here that the Adventurers and Travelers Steelbound loot boxes also now contain the Steed of the Eldar. These items are also available with Filbert Fig for Figments of Splendor. So it seems like all these new items should be available from Filbert Fig when he arrives with this patch. And for anyone wondering, this is the Steed of the Eldar. Some older avatar cosmetics and steeds have been moved off of Filbert Fig and onto the Curator. So those items that get moved from Filbert, you'll have to wait until the Curator is live in the game, where you can get those items. For the landscape notes, a lot of these are just landscape fixes to physics and terrain, but a Brawler trainer has been added and a Bjorning trainer has been removed for lore reasons from the Orthanc Ox Clan merchant camp. And both entrances to the Hurn auction hall are now labeled correctly. For localization, there was a German text display fix. There's also a note about the Lotro store and market. So the note is about once per account deliveries. So some things you can only have like once per account. For example, when we had the Magic the Gathering pack that you could get, that's only once per account. So anything like that will now require having the novice trait to help prevent you accidentally losing your items due to character deletion. So for anyone who don't know what Novice is, it's really simple. It's a passive skill that you earn once you complete the intro. For PvMP, really simple, we have a couple of fixes to Orc Defiler appearances. And the final note is about UI. The renewal of Gondor Quartermaster now uses the correct map icon. Hey! Hey you! Yeah, you! What do you want? You enjoy my content and you want to support me? Fine, I'll show you how you can do it. I would really appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me through my Ko-fi homepage. If you're playing or looking to play Lord of the Rings online, there is one place you need to be. The Ghyniverse is a Discord server created for the community of the players of Lord of the Rings Online. The server is getting close to 7,000 members, and in this server you'll find tons of helpful information. There's monthly giveaways, easy access to patch notes, you can keep up with my YouTube videos, my streams. If you're a streamer, you can ask for the streamer role and you can announce your streams in the other stream channel. There are discussion channels for pretty much everything, every class, monster players. But the best thing about this server is probably the Gearing Resources tab, where you can find anything from trait lines for every class, every build. There are stat goals, where you can find out what stats you should aim for on your characters. Really helpful information about drop rates from instances, as well as screenshot from all the new loot that appears in the game. If you enjoy Lotro, you should definitely consider joining this server, and hopefully I'll see you in Middle-earth. If you were part of the Ghyniverse already, you might have noticed that another tab appeared at the top, the LFF server. This server is a brand new server that I created, the LFF Ghyniverse. In this server, you can select which servers you want to keep up with, and once you select your server, say you select Arkenstone, you will see the LFF, the kinship advertisement, looking for kinship and trade channels, and there's also voice channels if people want to use those. The LFF channel is basically a looking for fellowship channel where people can post if they need players for the runs, and this way people don't have to be logged into the game to see the chat. They can just instead get a notification on their Discord. There's also a kinship advertisement page where kins can post their kinship advertisement and have people join their kins, and you can also post in the looking for kinship chat if you're looking for a kinship, but make sure to take a look in the kinship advertisement first and look through all the kin to find a suitable kin for you. There's also a trade channel if people want to buy or sell stuff that you can use. Hopefully you'll consider joining this server to bring the community even more together, not just in the game, but also outside of the game.